Good morning, Belzer. I'm Isaiah.
And I'm Jayla.
We are your anchors for Thursday, February 8th. Please stand for the pledge.
Today is National Boy Scout Day.
Our lunch options for today are chicken Alfredo and pepperoni Bosco with cheese.
Our sides today are broccoli with cheese and a fresh veggie tray.
In national news, Muhammad Ali Moy, a Black Lives Matter activist, was shot in New Orleans. Moy was soon after announced dead at the hospital.
Elon Musk's SpaceX Falcon had a successful launch and landing yesterday of their heavy rocket. A dummy was also launched in a Tesla car. It will supposedly orbit the sun. The car is playing the Sun Space Odyssey.
Now to Julia with the sports and weather.
Thank you, anchors. On this day in sports history in 1936, the first ski jumping tournament happened in Red Wing, Minnesota. Yesterday, the 7th and 8th grade girls basketball will compete today. The wrestling, swimming, and diving teams will compete today as well. Good luck. The weather today will be partly cloudy with a high of 30 degrees and a low of 23 degrees. Now back to our anchors.
Thanks, Julia, and congratulations to Aaliyah and Lamont.
8th graders, next Thursday, LC is hosting a curriculum planning night to assist you with your scheduling for next year. Representatives from all the departments will be there to answer your questions. Plan now to attend 6:30 to 8.
Robotics Club is looking for club members. The sign up is on Canvas and is open until tomorrow. Sign up today if you want to join this competitive club.
Don't forget to collect money for Pennies for Patients, which benefits the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society.
Until next week's candy sale, you can buy chocolate from the Performing Arts Department. If you would like to purchase a candy bar, they are being sold in the PA department for $1 each. Stop by anytime.
On this day in history in 1993, an Elvis stamp was produced.
The celebrity birthday today is Bethany Hamilton, who continued to surf after she lost her arm to a 15-foot shark. She is turning 28 today.
The joke of the day is, why did the old woman put roller skates on her rocking chair? Because she wanted to rock and roll.
Have a great day, Bruins.
Throughout Mae Jemison's life, excelling in one area has never been enough. Sure, we know her as the first African-American woman in space, but there's so much more that makes Jemison extraordinary. Mae grew up in Chicago, where like most kids, she dreamed of being a fashion designer, archaeologist, or astronaut. She decided at an early age she would go to space. Astronauts back then were exclusively white and male, but those aboard the USS Enterprise on Star Trek were different, particularly Lieutenant Uhura, and that allowed young Mae to see someone that looked like her in space. Even as a kid, she was extraordinary. She graduated high school at 16 and went to Stanford. She double majored in chemical engineering and African and Afro-American studies. During her junior year, she had to decide if she should be a doctor or a professional dancer, which were both legitimate options for her. She chose medical school and even worked in a Cambodian refugee camp in Thailand. And she didn't just become a doctor. In 1983, she became the Area Peace Corps Medical Officer for Sierra Leone and Liberia in West Africa. She managed all the health care for the Peace Corps, wrote manuals for self-care, researched rabies with the CDC, and was in charge of medical care for the U.S. Embassy. And she was 27. After 2 years there, she returned to America and began working as a general practitioner in Los Angeles and took graduate-level engineering classes at the same time. And even then, she was still like, I could do more. So she applied to become an astronaut in 1985 and wasn't deterred when the Challenger exploded the next year. She reapplied and was selected out of 2,000 applicants to train to be an astronaut.
And liftoff of Space Shuttle Endeavour.
September 12, 1992, Jemison made history when she took off aboard the Endeavour for days in space. As a science mission specialist, her job was to conduct experiments on the crew on motion sickness and bone cells. After her big dream was realized, Jemison decided to take it easy as an environmental studies professor at Dartmouth College, starting an educational nonprofit, a science camp, and serving as principal for 100 Year Starship, an initiative working to travel beyond our solar system in the next 100 years. Oh, and in 1993, she guest starred on Star Trek: The Next Generation. Jemison has gone back and forth on this whole role model thing. She didn't really want to be the poster child for black female astronauts, but she did want young girls, and the old white men that would hire them someday, to see that your race or gender doesn't limit you.